परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम कृपाल मां परम कृपाल, श्री मां शारदा परम कृपाल, परम कृपाल मां परम कृपाल, श्री मां शारदा परम कृपाल, करुणा सागर युग अवतार, दया हमारी करो भव पार, करुणा सागर युग अवतार, दया हमारी करो भव पार, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम कृपाल मां परम कृपाल, श्री मां शारदा परम कृपाल, परम कृपाल मां परम कृपाल, श्री मां शारदा परम कृपाल, करुणा सागर युग अवतार, नैया हमारी करो भव पार, करुणा सागर युग अवतार, नैया हमारी करो भव पार, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल, परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल, राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। पहला समरू गणपति देवा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, विघ्न दे जो मारा का पीरे रामा, विघ्न दे जो मारा का पीरे रामा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, बीजे समरू शारदा माता, बीजे समरू शारदा माता, वाणी निर्मल आपीरे रामा, वाणी निर्मल आपीरे रामा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, बीजे समरू गुरु चरण में, बीजे समरू गुरु चरण में, पावन की दापा पीरे रामा, पावन की दापा पीरे रामा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, पहला समरू गणपति देवा, छोटे समरू माता पिता ने, छोटे समरू माता पिता ने, सद्बुद्धि बहु आपीरे रामा, सद्बुद्धि बहु आपीरे रामा, पहला समरू गणपति गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पूजित पंचम परमेश्वर ने पूजित पंचम परमेश्वर ने मानव पदवी आपी रे रामा मानव पदवी आपी रे रामा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा विघन दे जो मारा का पीरे रामा विघन दे जो मारा का पीरे रामा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पूजित पंचम परमेश्वर ने पूजित पंचम परमेश्वर ने मानव पदवी आपी रे रामा मानव पदवी आपी रे रामा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा पहला समरू गणपति देवा। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय श्री गणपति भगवान की जय। नटराजा तब शेक मनिये नटराजा तब शेक मनिये शिवराजा मुखम तन्ने शिवराजा मुखम तन्ने नटराजा तब शेक मनिये नटराजा तब शेक मनिये शिवराजा मुगम तन्ने शिवराजा मुगम तन्ने ये रे बंगाल ने कनका सवेद ने ये रे बंगाल ने कनका सवेद ने तू किए पाद ने अम्बल तरसे तू किए पाद ने अम्बल तरसे मूवर मुदवा परमेश्वरे मूवर मुदवा परमेश्वरे तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये नटराजा तब शेक मनिये नटराजा तब शेक मनिये शिवराजा मुकुम तन्ने शिवराजा मुकुम तन्ने ये रे बंगाल ने कनका सवेद ने ये रे बंगाल ने कनका सवेद ने तू किए पाद ने अम्बल तरसे तू किए पाद ने अम्बल तरसे मूवर मुदवा परमेश्वरे मूवर मुदवा परमेश्वरे तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये ओम तब शेक मनिये नटराजा तब शेक मनिये। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय।
विनाशिनि शारदे
शारदे ओ शारदे विघ्न विनाशिनि शारदे
शारदे ओ शारदे विघ्न विनाशिनि शारदे
शारदे ओ शारदे विघ्न विनाशिनि शारदे
कलुष विनाशिनि शारदे
Om Aim Hrim Sarva Deva Devi Swarupinye Shri Sarada Devi Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya, revered Mataji, respected elders and loving brothers and sisters. The Holy Mother, Shri Sarada Devi, is best known for being the universal mother and spiritual consort of Sri Ramakrishna. She lived a life of simplicity, though it was not easy from beginning to end. Many demands were placed on her as a daughter, wife, and later spiritual leader, much more than a woman in her circumstances usually had to meet. Through all the varying situations she experienced, Shri Sarada Devi remained calm and performed her tasks to perfection. The teachings of the Holy Mother guide us on fruitful living and the ultimate goal of God realization. Her instructions are clear, detailed, and enhanced by her own life. As Shri Sarada Devi once said when someone asked her, "Mother, will you please show us something in the way of instruction?" Mother replied, "Don't you see me doing? What else can I say?" It is therefore essential to remember that Shri Sarada Ma's advice reflects the pure way in which she lived. In current times, the world is facing many challenges. There seems to be a never-ending cycle to the COVID pandemic, with new variants emerging, each deadlier than the previous one. In moments like these, we may ask ourselves, where is God? Why is he not removing the sorrows of people? A devotee once asked Shri Sarada Devi, "If there is a God, why is there so much misery in this world? Does he not see? Or hasn't he the power to remove these evils?" Ma Sharda replied that creation itself is full of grief due to people's actions. One must bear with everything because it is all due to cause and effect, according to one's karma. However, the negative impact of karma can be lessened through good acts and prayer. Mother says that if one prays, takes the name of God, and thinks of him alone, evil effects are cancelled. Human birth is full of suffering, and one has to endure everything patiently, taking the name of God. None, not even God in the human form, can escape the sufferings of the body and mind. During times of extreme stress, people lose their sense of direction and purpose. Many people are experiencing severe forms of depression and anxiety. They may not know how to cope with their problems. As a solution, some turn to the material enjoyments of the world. However, there is no satisfaction from these temporary solutions. A relevant interaction with the Holy Mother could perhaps guide us on coping in this world. A college student used to visit Mother's place quite frequently. One day, while taking leave of her, he suddenly said, "Mother, I am no good for this place. I am unfit to come to you. I am saying goodbye forever." He quickly left the house. Mother ran to him, caught his shirt and pulled him toward her. She put her hands on his shoulders. Looking at him in the eyes, she said in a firm voice, "Whenever any disturbing thought comes to your mind, think of me. Do not worry." With these words, she let him go. While going home, the boy repeated Mother's words over and over again. "Think of me, think of me, think of me." He couldn't forget those two beautiful, compassionate eyes of the Mother. He constantly remembered her sympathetic face and her words, "Think of me." We must remember that the Holy Mother's compassion extends to all of us. Her comforting words are, "I am the mother of the wicked, as I am the mother of the virtuous. Never fear. Whenever you are in distress, just say to yourself, 'I have a mother.' Through her grace, we will overcome all obstacles or troubles." The Holy Mother advises that time must be devoted to prayer, even in the busiest hours of the day. In this fast-paced world, many demands are made on individuals who try to balance their householder and spiritual lives. The Holy Mother said that it is natural to think of the work in which one is engaged. If meditation is not possible, she advises one to do japa. If the meditative mood comes, that is well and good. However, the Mother warns that prayer to God should not be done by force. The mind is by nature restless, she says. Therefore, at the outset, to make the mind steady, one may practice meditation by regulating the breathing a little, which helps to steady the mind. One gets everything when the mind becomes steady. The Holy Mother says, whether we jump into the river or are pushed into it, our cloth will still get wet. So whether we are willing or not, we must repeat the name of God, and we are sure to win God's grace. God wants sincerity, truthfulness, and love. Hence, whatever prayer we may do, whenever we may do it, should all be offered to God with sincere devotion. Many people find that the ultimate goal of God realization is not an easy path without renunciation of desire. A disciple once asked the Mother if all men could get rid of desires. Mother replied, "How can they? If they could, then the creation would come to an end. It is desires alone that make a man take one body after another. There will be rebirth for a man if he has even the desire to eat a piece of candy." However, the Mother explained that the renunciation process need not be achieved in one lifetime. She said most would make some progress in this life, a little more in the next, and so on. She said that the body alone changes, but the Atman, which carries the progress, remains the same. Hence, it is vital to engage in spiritual practices as much as possible to progress spiritually. When a disciple complained about making no spiritual progress, the Mother said to him, "Suppose you are asleep in Calcutta, and someone is removing you with your couch to Benares. Will you at that time know that you are on your way to Benares? When you wake up, you will be surprised to see where you have come." These words of the Mother are comforting because although we may not realize it, we do progress Godward by taking refuge in Him. Sharda Ma says, "Repeat the name of God from the innermost core of your heart, and in all sincerity take refuge in the Master. Do not bother to know how your mind is reacting to things around, and do not waste time in calculating and worrying whether or not you are progressing in the path of spirituality. It is egotistical to judge progress for oneself. Have faith in the grace of your Guru and Ishta." Sharda Ma uses a perfect analogy to explain the world to us. Mother says, "My child, this world is like a deep, marshy place. Once a man gets entangled there, it becomes difficult to come out. Repeat the name of God. If you do so, He will cut away your bondage someday. Can anyone get liberation, my child, unless He removes the shackles? Have deep faith in God." The Holy Mother reminds us that everything in this world, including the body, is transitory or temporary. The best way to free ourselves from bondages is to repeat God's name. However strong or beautiful this body may be, its culmination is in 3 pounds of ashes. And still, people are so attached to it. Glory instead should be to God. One of Sri Sarada Devi's greatest lessons is that we must not find fault with others. Mother rightly pointed out that even if one commits a slight fault after doing 1,000 good things for somebody, he will at once be offended. People only look for faults. Thus, it is not advisable to judge others, but rather aim to be better ourselves. All of us make mistakes, and we are all trying to do our best. what the Holy Mother wants of us is to be good human beings. There are enough people always ready to criticize others. Surely the world will not come to an end if one refrains from doing so. We will benefit by practicing Holy Mother's teachings. As we ponder on their meanings, we find them to be very encouraging. By emulating them with devotion and faith, we can improve. Even though Sarada Ma had to deal with difficult people, she never lost her composure and tried her best to help them through her affection, sympathy, and loving guidance. She was human, yet divine. The Mother's divinity shone through everything she did, even if it was something entirely mundane. She was a simple woman, but she was attuned to God in thought, speech, and action. She was a true saint, but she never claimed she was. She passed as an ordinary woman, but everything about her was extraordinary. Her life and teachings will always be relevant for us. Sarada Ma's life and teachings are accessible to anyone who reads them. May Sarada Ma sprinkle a drop of her motherly affection on us, so that we can progress holistically in life. Jai Shri Ma. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Prakritim paramam abhayam varadam nadarupadharam janatapaharam sharanagata sevakatoshakarim pranamami param jananim jagatam gunahina sutan aparadhayutan kripayadya samudhara mohagatan taranim bhavasagara parakarim pranamami param jananim jagatam vishayam kusumam pariritya sada charanam guruhamrita shanti sudham piba bringamano bhavarogaharam pranamami param jananim jagatam kripam kuru mahadevi suteshu pranateshu cha charanashraya kripamayi namostute lajjapatavite nityam Sarade jnanadayike papebhyo sada raksha kripamayi namostute Ram Krishna Gata Pranam Tannama Shravana Priyam Tadbhavaranjitakaram Pranamami Murmur Pavitram Charitam Yasya Pavitram Jivanam Tata Pavitrata Swarupinye Tasyai Gurmo Namo Namah Devim Prasanna Pranatarti Hantrim Yogindra Puja Yoga Dharma Patrim Tam Sharadam Bhakti Vigna इदं विचित्रम् प्रसीदमातर्विनयेन याचे नित्यं भवस्नेहवती सुतेषु प्रेमैकबिन्दु चिरदग्धचेते विषेञ्च चित्तं कुरु न सुशान्तम् जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय। जय श्री महामाय की जय। जय श्री स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय।
नित्य नित्य सुंदर मुखार विंदम नाचो रे नंदलाला नंदलाला।
नित्य नित्य सुंदर मुखार विंदम नाचो रे नंदलाला नंदलाला।
नित्य नित्य सुंदर मुखार विंदम नाचो रे नंदलाला नंदलाला।
नित्य नित्य सुंदर मुखार विंदम नाचो रे नंदलाला Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Shri Ambe Ambe Mata ki jai, Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai.
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. Prayer calms the restless mind. It takes our minds away from the troubles of the world and gives us peace. Shri Sarada Devi advises us to repeat God's name regularly. Holy Mother says, even in the midst of the busiest days, one must at least remember God and salute Him. Sunrise and sunset are the most auspicious times for repeating God's name. The mind remains pure at these times. May Shri Sarada Devi bless us with devotion and knowledge. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Sarvesham Swastirabhavatu, Sarvesham Shantirabhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai, Mahamai ki jai, Swami Ji Maharaj ki jai, Ganga Mat ki jai, Mahavir Swami Ji ki jai, Sarva Rishi Muniyo ki jai, Parvati Patan